Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. It's Newsday.
Holy shit.
In the news this week,
Bong.
bizarre virus symptom sees horrified man's penis shrink by 1.5 inches.
Comedians can be prescribed on the NHS to help patients struggling with trauma. Bong.
Man gets genetically modified pig heart in world first transplant.
Bong.
Hero rat who detected over 100 landmines and other explosives dies aged 8.
Bong. Police break up 50-person sex orgy after busting COVID rule-breaking brothel. Bong.
And now it's time for the news.
Bong. An album made entirely of endangered bird sounds beats Taylor Swift's on top 50 chart.
Bong. Police officers fired for ignoring robbery to play Pokemon Go. That's it.
I'm out of headlines, guys.
Yeah, that's...
Did you only have to?
Yeah, I only had 2.
Ah.
All right, so who's first? Who wants to take the first story?
Take it away, Mr. Gray.
All right. Well, let's talk about this bizarre virus symptom, which has seen a horrified man's penis shrink by 1.5 inches.
Just a general virus, yeah?
Yeah, he got a virus.
Is it the
But-
existing virus that we all know about?
Yeah, it's the virus that's been around for about, at the time of recording, about
2
years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah,
Funny though.
yeah. Well, he got that virus, and he found as he's got long virus symptoms. So some people they have the virus and the virus does some damage in them, and basically, and it's one of his symptoms is his penis has shrunk more than an inch.
He's got virus willy. So
Yeah, but basically, he's got a virus penis.
It sounds to me like it's an excuse. He's always had a small dick, and now it's like, well, this is why. Not my fault.
It is a pretty handy excuse. It's also quite a terrible symptom. If people knew from the start that this virus could cause penis shrinkage, it would probably people would probably take it very seriously, extremely seriously.
Not the death part, no.
Penises are getting shrunk, Mr. Red.
Well, he's dead inside now.
So basically, a university college London study looked at over 3,700 people who have caught the virus and found that a rare few, 200, which isn't actually that rare, 200 out of 3,700. If I do very rough maths, that's probably about 5%. I think. So 5% who reported having listed a smaller penis
Long
as
virus?
a symptom. Yes, long virus, sorry. Listed having a smaller penis as a symptom. Now that's only... It says it looked at 3,700 people who had caught the virus. Found that 200. You have to half that number because of the men. It was 3,700 people, so you assume could be up to 10%.
Well, not just men have willies, so,
Well,
so
basically,
2022.
this is what this poor man says. I'm a man in my 30s. In July last year, I contracted the virus and was very sick. When I got out of the hospital, I had some dysfunction issues. Those gradually got better with some medical attention, but I seem to be left with a lasting problem. My penis has shrunk. Before I got sick, I was above average. Not huge, but definitely bigger than normal. Now I've lost about 1.5 inches and become decidedly less than average. And this is quoting the news here. This is the Daily Star that's saying this.
Yeah, but this is also January. It's winter here, so things shrink in the
That's
cold.
true. Things do shrink in the cold.
We just stood outside the hospital doors and just looked down at his junk.
So basically, the reason that doctors guess that this is a problem is that COVID. The reason that they think this is the problem is that the virus attacks the blood system, doesn't it? Attacks like circulatory system and
Fucking attacks, whatever.
yeah.
Sounds of it.
So that's, and you lose the blood bits in your penis, and it gets smaller.
The blood bit. Well, no, I just think these guys all have small dicks, and it's like, yes, finally something to blame. Here we go.
Well, blame pretty much everything else on the
I
virus.
have
don't need to
small
buy that.
willy virus syndrome.
I don't need to buy that high-end Merc to make up for it anymore.
Exactly. Anyway,
Moving on.
comedians could be prescribed in the NHS to help patients struggling with trauma. So, I mean, just a guy with PTSD sitting there just back from war, you know?
Oh, you don't get PTSD on war. You get PTSD from Twitter. Carry on.
Yeah. Comedians chairman Hughes and Jack. Comedian, sorry, Charmaine. Sorry, Charmaine, his name is not chairman. Charmaine Hughes and Jack Campbell will help to deliver the sessions through Bristol Wellspring Settlement Social. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Bristol Wellspring Settlement Social Prescribing Team, which patients could be sent on for free. So yeah, like they're basically like, well, if you're depressed or if you're going through hard times, then they'll tell you some jokes and that'll help. Like, you know, comedy does make you feel better if you feel a bit shit, but at the same time, it's the NHS, so these have to be pre-approved jokes. They can't be like, you know, midget gems jokes or anything like that. Like, you know, they have to be pre-approved, not offensive to absolutely anybody.
Well,
No, you can't. No, not
Apart from
on the NHS.
gingers, because nobody cares.
You can't be offensive on the NHS.
Yeah, you can't at all.
Oh.
They have to be super duper inclusive jokes. It's gonna be stupid.
I don't
They're
know.
gonna be like Christmas cracker jokes that'll want people to kill themselves even more.
Probably will. So, like, how much? What's the average prescription of comedy?
Well, they're just sort of talking about it, and I don't really know what the ins and outs of it. Let's see. Angie, who has a master's degree in psychology, said the early results suggest the formula works. She said, when I work with young people, there's a lot experiencing gender dysmorphia, people who have recently come out to issues with family, class, and race. We explore the subjects, and the end, people seem 6 inches taller.
Well, I read something about a guy who could do with that sort of treatment.
Yep, you could do an extra few inches. Student Kish Bailey said comedy had helped her deal with her anxiety, depression, and difficult life experiences. I thought that went without saying. No, like people didn't really need to go to a doctor to be prescribed comedy. Like, here, go watch this comedy film.
Yeah, watch a funny film or something.
Yeah, like I thought that's what people just generally did. I feel a bit shit. I'll stick on a funny film.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why.
It's like prescribing cat videos to someone. You know, you just watch the video of a kitten falling down the back of a sofa, and it makes you, makes you happier.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you don't just do it yourself, but then, you know, that counts as like treating yourself. So, you know, that's kind of frowned upon these days too, I suppose, isn't it? Anyway, that's that anyway.
Well,
Doctor gives a joke.
I'm not sure how I feel about my taxes being spent on comedians.
And comedians these days aren't funny either.
I would tell you a joke, but I'm not a very funny person, as you know.
You can't force humor either. Like, it just doesn't work.
So, moving on to more medical news.
well, they're obviously not pushed for money anymore.
No, obviously not, because a man has received a genetically modified pig heart in the world's first pig to human transplant.
So he's 2/3 man bear pig.
Yes, he's 2/3 man bear pig. He's going to get his bear paws in the
He's man pig at the
in
minute.
June, I think. So yeah, this is an American man, so it wasn't on the NHS. Was the first man to get him.
Oh, right. They got the heart out of a bargain.
So how long has he had it in?
Not very long. This is pretty much the headline about the operation. So he's recently had the operation and he is alive, which is the remarkable thing. The fact that it's in his body, pumping away.
Yeah, for now, but your body can reject shit.
A heart though?
Yeah, you have to take
I suppose,
medication
yeah.
after a heart transplant in case your body
Well, he's
rejects
probably
it.
taken plenty of medication, but it's all experimental, isn't it?
How related are we to pigs? It's like 90 something% at least.
Well, I think we're like 98% related to pigs, and we're 95% related to salmon, and then 92% related to broccoli.
It's not like 98% to chimps as well.
I think we're 99% chimps.
99% chimps.
I don't know, but chimps are more expensive than pigs. So
I heard a guy had a theory once that humans humans are actually offspring of a chimp mating with a pig. That's why we act like chimps and we taste like bacon.
definitely would expect that definitely would explain the taste.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know the guy. Like I just heard it.
so yeah, the pig used in the transplant had been genetically modified to knock out several genes that would have led to the organ being rejected by Mr. Bennett's body.
They removed several genes.
Or they genetically modified several genes, or they said to knock out several genes. I don't know.
Oh, was this pig grown for him then? Like,
I don't know. Maybe.
it would have had to have been, because if you genetically modify something like a, you have to do that literally at the egg stage.
Yeah, I'd assume so. It's either they've done that or it's the type of genetic modification that will work for anybody.
The waiting list is too long. It's quicker to literally grow a pig.
Probably is. How long does it take to grow a pig?
Not that long. I mean, they reach adulthood within a couple of years, don't they? So I don't know about pigs, but
A modern pig can reach a slaughter weight of about 100 kilos, which is the size of a man, in 24 weeks.
6 months.
So that's about half a year, yeah.
Slaughter weight.
Slaughter weight.
Sounds like an amazing UFC
Well,
slaughter weight champion. Right.
That'd be awesome.
5.5 months, but might as
So,
well
yeah.
get the extra two weeks to make sure you get the heart nice and ready.
What happened to the rest of the pig? They eat it in the barbecue?
I assume so.
Welcome home, Steve.
But you have to wonder, right, which is the first thing I thought whenever I read this story is, if you have a pig and the heart is good enough, is compatible with a human, the human has the pig's heart. If you eat the bacon, does that make you a cannibal?
Nah.
You're not a pig, so no.
But if somebody kills you and eats your pig heart, does that make them a cannibal?
Ooh, now there's a question, because it was a pig's heart, but then they killed you
Yeah.
or a person, but they eat the heart, which was a pig's heart. Mr. Red, how do you get us out of this conundrum?
In what way was it genetically modified?
The genetic modification was basically just to make it compatible, so they like you didn't get organ rejection. That seems to be the main thing.
Yeah, so you're literally a man with a pig's heart.
Yes, he's a man with a pig's heart. It's a pig's heart. Yeah.
So he is 2/3 man or pig.
Yes.
It just reminds me of that Honey Boo Boo episode from South Park. Picks out a pig. I want that one.
I got a pig's heart, child.
My pig heart makes me sassy.
Well done to Mr. Bennett for being the subject of this amazingly risky operation.
Yeah, well, suppose we'll check up on him every so often, see how he's doing.
We'll see how he's doing in a few months. See if he's
Yeah.
still alive.
We do wish him well. We do wish him well.
Absolutely. And very brave for being the first guy to go through with this kind of crazy transplant.
Yeah.
Next story.
Ah, yeah, next story, yeah.
Right,
Let's do it.
Moving on.
Hero rat who detected over 100 landmines and other explosives has died aged 8. He's a cute little fella.
She was
100
trained.
landmines.
100 landmines and other explosives. Magawa, the landmine detecting hero rat, has died at the age of 8. The African giant pouched rat, who sniffed out landmines and other explosives in Cambodia, was one of the most successful rodents trained by Belgian charity APOPO. During his 5-year career, he managed to clear more than 225 square meters of land, the equivalent of about 31 football pitches, and discovered 71 landmines and 38 items of unexploded ordnance, the charity previously said. In 2020, it became the first rodent to be awarded the Pdsa Gold Medal, the animal equivalent of the George's Cross, which recognises acts of heroism by British citizens and military personnel. A year later, Magawa, also known as a hero rat, decided to take a back seat from the action and retired, with his baton at the charity being taken up by another rodent named Ronan. We are grateful for the incredible work he has done. APOPO said Magawa died peacefully at the weekend after being in good health and spending his last few days playing with his usual enthusiasm.
Well, it's sad times.
After
we need to have a moment of silence for the rat.
There you
I'll do.
Yep.
However, he started to slow down, napping more, showing less interest in food closer to his death.
And bombs. Nah, don't fancy bombs anymore.
All of us at the APOPO are feeling the loss of Magawa, and we are grateful for the incredible work he has done, the charity has said. During his career, Magawa found over 100 landmines and other explosives, making him the APOPO's most successful hero rat to date. His contribution has allowed communities in Cambodia to live, work and play without fear of losing life or limb. Since 2000, the organisation has been working to train and breed landmine detection rats at its operational headquarters at Slogan University of the Agricultural in Tanzania, where Magawa was born and developed into an impressive nose for explosives. At the age of 3, he moved to Semi-Rapia in Cambodia and began his work. I was just blown away that a rat could detect explosives.
That's amazing.
Nice. Well, rip the rat.
Apparently, the Apopo that you mentioned, APOPO, it's a company that actually trains rats to detect explosives. They're kind of like guide dogs, but rats for bombs.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's more than pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm. And they're very cute as well.
Yes.
Kind of.
He's got a little. I'll put a little bit of photo on screen. He's got a little gold medal.
Ratatouille IED.
Lovely.
There you go. Moving on then,
Oh,
I guess.
I don't know. I don't really know what to say. He's a hero.
He's a hero.
Sadly passed away.
Yes.
He's in rat heaven. Police break off 50-person sex orgy after busting COVID rule-breaking brothel.
That's more of a shed kind of story.
Yep. Well, you might have been celebrating New Year, loved ones, or on Zoom. Thanks, Omicron. Sorry, what's that? Anyway, there were 50 people in Spain having a much better time as they were participating in a sex party to welcome 2022.
Also, it was a New Year thing.
Yes.
Have to bring the year in with a bang.
A bang bang.
Send deal.
Bang.
Officers discovered more than 50 people had breached local COVID virus restrictions, by turning up at the local property of somewhere in Barcelona for the sex party. A local raised the alarm after 2 people tried to enter his house wrongly thinking it was the orgy venue. The sex party was reportedly organised by a group of Americans who hired prostitutes to celebrate New Year's Eve and the arrival of 2022. So they weren't really breaking the law, other than the fact that,
Well, they might have been breaking social distancing.
Yes, well, only a maximum of 10 people were permitted to be in one indoors at a time.
How do you even find 50 people they agree to that?
Back in February, Spanish police raided an illegal brothel to find 19 Frenchmen who had breached COVID regulations in force at the time by crossing the border in search of sex. Shortages of everything. Food, fuel.
If you got to cross the border for sex, then you know something's wrong.
It's pretty desperate. The men were among 39 punters and 21 sex workers identified during the operation at the unnamed hotel in Capmany, 20-minute drive from France. Detectives made no arrests but identified the men and warned them they would face heavy fines that would be sent to their home addresses.
Well, it's just more police kind of enforcing the lockdown rules. So did they like burst through the building? Burst into the building, catch them in the act.
Pretty much, caught them with their pants down. Just bust in, caught them red-handed, and
probably red-faced and red-cheeked.
They could tell he was recently infected by the size of their dicks. Although saying there's a bit of a dark side to the story. Apparently all the women that were involved were also being identified as part of a human trafficking investigation.
All right, now it's not funny anymore.
So I can kill that story for you. So obviously all the female sex workers were being questioned about it.
Well, I hope they got out of that vicious circle.
Yeah, you just kind of ruined the fun there.
Yeah. Well, that's a...
We'll just delete that bit and it's like it never happened.
Oh, it's kind of important. Anyway, Mr.
I'm
Red, what happened?
sorry to hear about this poor woman.
What happened to Taylor Swift?
This is from NPR. An album made entirely of endangered bird sounds beat Taylor Swift on the top 50 chart.
One could say Swift was beaten by Swift.
Ooh.
Oh.
For most of December, Adele had the top-selling album in Australia, followed by Ed Sheeran, and then there was a collection of absolute bangers that took everyone by surprise. Songs of Disappearance. An entire album of calls from endangered birds in Australia. Last month, it briefly chirped in at number 3 on the country's top 50 albums chart, ahead of Taylor Swift.
Swooped in.
Number 3 in the country's album chart, just ahead of Taylor Swift.
Australia?
Australia.
That's Australia for you.
I know. Well, at least it's not as insane as New Zealand, you know.
I don't believe they have music in New Zealand anymore, do they?
No, but they do elect bats as their birds of the year.
Bat wins bird of the year. Yeah. We'll wrap up in this one then. Do you have any more?
No, I'm done.
Well, police officers fired for ignoring robbery to play Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. People still play that?
Apparently so, but these are cops, like adults, playing this too. I gave up after the first week.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it before it was on the App Store. You know, you have to download the APK file onto your phone.
All right.
You know, from a source. When the call came in that multiple suspects were engaged in a robbery in progress at the Crenshaw Mall, I'm assuming this is America somewhere.
It's
LA.
It's in California. I'm just wondering, did they not bother responding to this, since there's the absurd law in America now where you don't prosecute shoplifters or something if they lift under $1,000 worth of merchandise?
Yeah, I think maybe every 9 out of 10, well, probably 99% of robbery calls now are basically people nicking life-saving makeup and trainers.
Life-saving makeup?
Yeah, because well, they're thinking of, allowing people to steal up to $900 worth of goods. It's so they can take stuff that they desperately need, food, medicine, whatever.
It's over $900. It's closer to like 1,000. It's a weird. It's like 970. It's just a weird number.
Yeah, it's
Right,
rounded up to,
very specific.
yeah, but it's, yeah, so that people can just sort of take, stuff that they're desperate for and not get prosecuted, like trainers and makeup. A captain in the area responded. Lozano and Mitchell did not, which ultimately arouses suspicions of their patrol supervisor, Sergeant Jose Gomez. The documents go on to describe exactly where they were and what they were doing, revealing that the two officers could be heard on the radio playing Pokemon Go, all while the robbery was taking place. At one point, one of the officers can be heard alerting his partner to the fact a Snorlax disappeared. Woman walking down the street. For the next 20 years or so, the DICVS heard the pair talking about Pokemon as they drove around in pursuit of the Snorlax. They put the sirens on. We need to get through this traffic.
Trying to get the Snorlax is pretty rare, isn't it?
I don't know. But there you go. Just
Well, it wasn't like it was a Pikachu.
Pikachus are quite common, aren't they? In
I
Pokemon
think
Go?
No, and Pokemon Go, I don't believe there. Though I do remember they bought out the Christmas version of Pikachu where you had a wee Santa hat.
Ah, that's the one you want to get.
That's the one you want to get. That's the only one I have. I don't have the regular Pikachu.
so. Yeah, if you're waiting for 4 hours for an ambulance or a police car to arrive, they're probably trying to catch a Snorlax.
Well,
Yeah,
to be fair, this is California, right? So emergency services are pretty lax there anyway, right? Especially the police.
I think everything's lax over there, but not in a good way.
Mm.
Anyway,
It's not a place I would like to live.
Well, on that depressing note.
On that depressing note.
that's the good news of the week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
We might see you next week.
We'll check up on Man Pig next week.
See if he's got the bear part.
Yep. See ya.